Welcome to today's politics discussion. I'm Claire, and joining me is Alan.
Hello, I'm Alan. We're covering several key stories today, starting with the recent developments in the Middle East.
Let's begin with the news that Israel has struck Beirut's southern suburbs just days after a ceasefire agreement was reached in Washington. The Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu's office, confirmed the strikes targeting Hezbollah command centers.
That's a significant escalation, especially given the timing. What does the reporting say about the reaction from the U.S., considering they were involved in brokering the ceasefire?
The articles indicate that Israel defied a U.S. request not to attack Lebanon's capital. This move has potentially serious implications for the region, as Iran had warned that an attack on Beirut would renew full-scale war across the Middle East.
So, the stakes are quite high here. What's the current situation on the ground in Beirut after these strikes?
The reporting doesn't provide detailed information on casualties or the extent of the damage, but it does mention that the strikes targeted Hezbollah command centers in the southern suburbs.
And how does this fit into the broader context of Israel's and Hezbollah's historical conflicts? Is this seen as a major escalation or part of an ongoing pattern?
The strikes come after a period of relative calm following the ceasefire agreement. Historically, such actions can be seen as either a significant escalation or a continuation of the long-standing tensions between Israel and Hezbollah.
Let's switch gears to a different story. There's a federal lawsuit seeking to halt a UFC fight card planned for the White House South Lawn as part of President Donald Trump's 80th birthday celebration and the nation's 250th anniversary.
That's an unusual event, to say the least. What are the main arguments presented in this lawsuit?
From what the articles say, the lawsuit is challenging the decision to hold the UFC event on the White House South Lawn, likely on grounds related to the use of White House grounds for such an event.
And what does the reporting say about the potential implications or reactions to this lawsuit?
The articles don't go into detail about the potential outcomes, but they do mention that the event is planned as part of a broader celebration, which adds to the controversy.
Moving on, Armenians are heading to the polls for parliamentary elections. The incumbent government, led by Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, is seeking to loosen ties with Moscow and deepen cooperation with the West.
That's a significant geopolitical shift. How is Russia responding to Armenia's efforts to reorient its foreign policy?
The reporting indicates that Armenia is under mounting Russian pressure aimed at preventing this drift toward the West. 2 political blocs and 17 parties are running in the election, making it a complex political landscape.
So, what's at stake for Armenia in these elections, beyond just the parliamentary composition?
Essentially, the election outcome will significantly influence Armenia's future alignment, either strengthening its ties with Russia or moving closer to the West.
The White House is reportedly considering a plan to buy the Chagos Islands from Mauritius. Can you provide more context on this story?
According to the Telegraph report, U.S. officials have drawn up a proposal to bypass the U.K. and make a deal directly with Mauritius to take control of Diego Garcia, a strategically important island in the Chagos archipelago.
Diego Garcia is known for its significant military base. How does this fit into U.S. strategic interests in the region?
The base on Diego Garcia is crucial for U.S. military operations in the Indian Ocean. Acquiring the Chagos Islands would consolidate U.S. control over this strategic asset.
And what are the potential implications for the UK and Mauritius in this deal?
The proposal suggests bypassing the UK, which currently has sovereignty over the islands. Mauritius has long claimed ownership of the Chagos Islands, so a direct deal between the U.S. and Mauritius could resolve the sovereignty dispute in a way that excludes the UK.
In a related story, President Trump stated in an interview that he would not unfreeze Iran's assets or lift sanctions until a peace deal is reached.
That's a significant statement, especially given the context of the recent ceasefire and ongoing negotiations. What does the reporting say about Iran's position on this issue?
Iran has demanded that billions in frozen assets be unblocked. Trump's statement directly counters that demand, indicating a tough stance in the negotiations.
And how does Lebanon factor into these negotiations, according to the reporting?
Trump mentioned that he is not demanding Lebanon's involvement in a short-term deal with Tehran, suggesting some flexibility in the negotiations regarding Lebanon's role.
As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that there are several complex and interconnected stories unfolding across the globe, from the Middle East to Armenia and the U.S.
Indeed, and these stories highlight the intricate geopolitical dynamics at play. Thanks for joining us for this in-depth analysis.
That's all for today. Goodbye.
Goodbye.